cruising at 59 mile an hour, and it's not going into overdrive. You guys can see me shifting that, and that's almost 60 mile an hour, and it's still at 22 something, and it's got a stall, so it's always slipping. It's never gonna, it never locks up because you can't go, like, so at 62, still ain't in overdrive. So if you baby it, it'll go in. At like 65 mile an hour, it's finally in overdrive. I don't know if you guys can see it or even hear it. See, there's your overdrive, and when you drop down, RPM goes up slightly. But you got to be going like 60, 65, and if you step on it, it just unlocks, and it gets back into the slipping of the transmission. So we're gonna do a rear end gear. I'm thinking the gear back there is way too high to be behind a 700R. So like when you do a overdrive tranny, you want like a 355 at least spring and pinion gear or more. Like 373 would be optimal, or 411 when you have an overdrive, because right now you're cruising, and it's so now it just knocked it out of overdrive. But if you baby it and let off the throttle enough, it'll go back into overdrive. But the second you step on it to try to move, it just unlocks the transmission and it starts, you know, it ends up back in third gear again. So we're gonna fix that. And it should be staying locked up. So we're gonna look and see if it has an electrical. We're gonna look to see if it has an electrical switch on the converter. It should have a electric lockup and a harness going to the transmission. I don't know if it has that. We're going to look and see. Usually when these will unlock with the brake. You step on the brake, it unlocks the converter. I don't know if this has that or it doesn't have that or what. We're going to look at that stuff and figure out what this is and what it needs to be. All right, guys, we're going to dig into this. This is a 10-volt GM. So we're going to zip these cover bolts off, which I'll show you that. And then we'll stop you guys when we start draining this thing. So we're going to dig in. We're going to set up a. Oh, we got a bolt in there. We're going to set up a true track in here with a new gear ratio. And this will be I already brought you guys for the test drive, so we're going to see what gear is in here. I'm guessing it's nothing better than a 308. They're probably a 287 or whatever these things had that was really, really high. We need an extension for that one. So let me pause you guys for a second. All right, guys, we got our bolts out. We're gonna pry this cover, get this shit draining. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we're not gonna do anything. Maybe we're gonna wreck the cover trying to get it off because they glued the shit out of it. I have a hammer. I don't know.
You want a hammer or
Yeah, I'll take that one. I'll take anything. We'll try it.
Do you need a real hammer?
No, it's going. At least I think it's going. Oh, we're ruining the cover. I think we're bending the cover. Wow. That's good. Somebody glued the death out of this. I can't get this off. I know. Loose.
Huh?
It's loose. Somebody glued this thing so much that we're bending the cover. There is a bolt up there, but it's loose. It's just there to hold the cover. I don't know why the hell you do this. This is stupid right here. There we go. We're gonna have to straighten the cover now. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh my God. They liked our TV. They liked our TV. We do have a bolt up there, but it's already loose, so that's not what's holding us. They glued the shit out of this thing. Okay.
That smells awful.
Awful?
Yeah.
I mean awful. Selena says it smells awful. We got Selena in the shop. We're gonna give her our bolt that was loose.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm gonna go buy a new cover or try to straighten this one.
Where do you put the rest of them?
They're over there on that red thing. All right, guys, we're gonna let that drain for a while, and then we'll bring you back once we get a little light going on here, and there's no sense in watching this drain. So, yeah. All right, guys. All right, guys. So we're pretty much drained. We did pull our straps off the U-joint, which you guys can't see yet, but I'll show you. So there's 4 bolts. We pulled them off. There's one there and there. There's a strap that holds that U-joint in. So we did that, and we did the math on this. It's a 1540 something. It was a 273 rear gear, which is way too high for a 700 R4 in front of it. So I'm glad we're changing this, because that would have been, you can't really run overdrive unless you. It's just the wrong gear ratio. It should be, like I said earlier, it should be a lower gear. I mean, sometimes people get away with it. I don't like doing that. So we're gonna upgrade anyway. So we're here and we're gonna upgrade it. All right, Selena's gonna pull the wheels, so you'll get to see her pull the wheels. So we're gonna lower this down now. Down. I'm gonna pull that U-joint off. I'm gonna pull that U-joint off. We're gonna lower this down, and then she's gonna pull the wheels so we can pull the axles. And then I'm gonna pause you guys for a second. All right, guys, we're gonna lower down. Selena's gonna zip them wheels. I'll pull them down off there before we drop the shaft out. So the shaft's already out. We'll set that rear end down so it's almost in the drain bucket.
That works. That's good.
Good?
Yeah.
That's good right there, guys.
Oh, no.
I'll pull the lugs off for you. Alright, guys, we're going to go after these lugs. Probably, I don't know what kind of a close-up you're getting out of this, but I think we're getting a low battery. Selena's working it on the other side already. We're going to have this thing knocked apart in no time. No time. Okay, wheels coming off. There it goes. Okay. All right, Selena's going to get the other side. I'm going to pause you guys while we're getting the other side off, because it's just more of the same. Then I'll bring you back once we start stripping some brakes off of this thing. Alright, guys, we're taking the caliper. Selena's getting it off. We broke these 2 loose. There's 2 Allen screws. There's one here. There's one here. She's going to spin them out. We're going to get the caliper off next. And, or maybe not. I don't know what she's doing. She's making it look tougher than it is. She's making it look tough.
Yeah, make it look like I'm doing something.
Okay. She's making it look like she's doing something. She got oil on her wrist. Anyway. We're going to get those 2 out. We're going to throw the caliper up on top of the rear end, and then we'll go from there. Then we're going to get we'll get the rotor off, and then I'll bring you guys up to speed again. Well, there's one. Yeah. She got one more up top. We'll show you guys that. And then I'm going to pause you guys while I pull this shit apart. Well, I'll tear this off, and then we'll get the rotor off, and then we'll go from there. Because there's 4 more bolts I'll show you guys. They go in this way. They go that way. And that's what's holding the axle. It's not holding the axle in, but actually we might not have to pull those because this is a C-clip axle. We'll go after the other thing first, and we'll leave those bolts alone. We won't have to touch them, maybe. That's right. See, I almost forgot there. I keep thinking Ford 9-inch stuff, and it's not a 9-inch. It's not a 9-inch.
It's also not coming off
This
of
does
there.
not want to come off of there. So if you wiggle it around a little bit, you'll get a little bit of room in that caliper. You press it slightly. Don't press it all the way. And then the pad's going to want to come out with it. It's going to turn into a clusterfuck, but there you go. We're going to set that right up there. That's going to sit right there. And this we can take off before it falls off. And that's going to be it. We're going to go after the center in the rear axle now because we should be able to just push this that way. I don't know if you guys can see me. We're going to push the axle in once we get the center pin out. We'll push this in and the axle will pull out. I'm going to pause you guys. We'll get ready.
Do we have to take the...
All right, guys, we're going to get you right up in here. Zoom up in. So we're going to pull this. This 5/16. This is a 5/16 cross pin. It holds this pin in. So we're going to take this out. We're going to get this thing up. All right. We're going to get this pin out. We're going to get this cross pin out. This holds in the pin that holds the spider gears. And then we'll push the axles in from each side and the C-clips will fall out. And then we can pull the axles out. I was going to take that whole thing apart. I'm glad I remembered that. So that's your pin right there. That's your bolt that's a pin. That holds in this pin. So that just retains that pin. And that pin is what your spider gears are riding. So we're going to move some stuff around here for a second. If we spin this around, we'll get that pin. And then it falls right off the bottom. And then if you rotate this around, your spider gears will come. There's one spider gear. And then if you spin it the other way, it's not going to do anything. We'll grab it from the top then. And there's your other spider. So there's your two spiders. They got a fair amount of wear on them. So that's so then if you look in here, can you guys see that gear? You can see that gear. Selena's going to go push that axle. So go to the other side. Push the other axle in. If she pushes this axle in, it's going to go in some. And there's a C-clip in there that's going to fall out. She's going to tap that in. There it goes. And there's a C-clip. Okay? So there's that C-clip that holds the axle in. I'm going to show Shalina that now because she wants to see it. I know she does.
Yeah, and that was much easier than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's going to go easy. I'm going to give you guys vertigo. See what I mean? All right.
I almost shot that right.
All right, so you're looking in here, and you're going to see a little C-clip. Let me see if I can turn it to the right. Well, I can't see what I'm doing because I can't. But anyway, in there, I don't know if you guys can see either, but I'm going to push this in. You'll see a C-clip. There it is. All right.
Just like that.
So then those axles, we can just pull them out. They're going to pull out now. So I'm going to go pull them axles. I'm going to pause you guys. We're going to pull the axles. These spider gears will come out once the axle's out. Even if they don't, it doesn't matter because we're going to go after these 4 bolts next. We'll take these out. We'll get an impact gun with a good battery. We're going to get set up. We've got a good battery. We'll pull these out. When we pull the axles out, they just push right out now. They'll just pull right out, no problem. And then that's that. Okay, guys, we pulled our axles out. These will pull right out of there. I'm just going to leave them in there just because we don't have more shit floating around. But these will pull out. We don't need to pull them out. Selena's hunting us a 5/8 or an 11/16 or whatever this is. And when she gets back with that, we're going to rip them out. You don't mix these up. Usually they're stamped. That looks like it says something. And so you don't want to mix those up because you'll have problems. Oh, Shalina goes to the right socket.
Yay.
All right. She's putting it on the gun, I guess. And then we're going to do this. And then we are going to do this. We're going to zippity dippity this thing. Oh, I got nothing. I'm going to pause. Okay, guys, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to zip this out. And make sure you don't mix these up like I said. And gear oil smells like excellent. Shalina likes the smell of this stuff.
Oh, it's gross.
It's gross, she says. I'm going to set them somewhere here. We don't want them mixed up. We don't want them falling all over the place. So I will find a place for them in a minute. And then I'm going to pull that gear out. Shalina's throwing stuff around.
We don't need that bolt.
Okay. Put that up there. I'm going to put that up there. And then this chunk's coming out of here. So there is some shims with this. Hopefully they just stay there and they don't fall all over the place. If they do, you guys need to let me know where they were. All right, there's one. One's staying, one's coming. So we're going to put that right back up in there. And that's all we got for shims. So there's our gear. Or one of them.
And it smells gross.
Alright guys, we're going to come after this one next. We got to come up with a way that we don't mix anything up. So I'm going to pause you guys for a minute. Alright guys, we're going to come after the pinion nut next. We're going to get the yoke off. We're going to get this all driving out, and then we're going to figure out what we're doing. I've never done one of these true tracks before. So this is the first for me. So I don't know how much of that we're going to show because it's probably going to be a whole bunch of swearing. So we might just bring you back for highlights. We're going to see how it goes. That's what we're saying. Because we don't know what we're doing with this true track stuff. And I might have to phone a friend, which is Tim. True track is a thing. It's a locker thing that goes in the rear end.
Okay.
Here, you can take that. All right, we're going to beat this thing out of here. There. And there's our yoke and a washer that's in there. That's going to stay in there. We're going to set that down in there. And then our pinion's out. And then we're going to bash the rest of this. We're going to knock this seal out. We're going to take that gear out. We're going to knock all the bearings out of this and clean everything up. And then we'll bring you guys back for, I don't know, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this true track thing because I've never done one. So, I don't know anything about true track. We're going to try to figure it out. So depending on how much of a nightmare it is going to depend on what you guys see. All right, see ya. All right, guys, we got our Eaton true track in the thing. So we're gonna press some bearings on. So I use the race drivers for these because I want them on the inside. You don't want to press on the outside. And this kind of fits there pretty good. And we'll just make sure we're not bottomed out or anything weird. But this should just drive them right on, no problem. We got to make sure they're sitting all the way down. And then we'll be good to go. I'm pretty sure we ain't going to have any issues with this. See, it's going to push it right on. So we're going to press our bearings. We got to split the pinion off of that thing. Okay, that's it. And I don't think we're down all the way. I think that needs to have like a little gap. Because I don't think that's sitting down all the way in there. So we're going to find something, maybe a socket that fits in between there. Or we're going to find something. Then I'll bring you guys back because that just pressed it down flush here. And I think it needs to go down a little extra. Because I think there's still a gap underneath there and we don't want a gap in between. That needs to be bottomed out. So we're going to make sure we're bottomed out and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, Selena's she's got to hold all that. I don't know what she's doing, but it needs to be held centered. So you're going to press that down because there's a gap underneath. And as long as she's holding that right, it's going to work.
Ready?
I guess. I can't see it. I'm behind the camera.
We'll see.
It should move down pretty easy. You should feel it sliding down. And see that gap on the bottom? It should close. You're putting pressure on it.
I don't know if it's going. You don't have to hold it anymore, right?
No. You got 500 pounds of pressure on that already. Did it close the gap? We might have to find something different to get in there with, guys. I don't know.
It looks like it's going uneven, so I don't know.
Uneven?
Yeah. Like it looks like it's tight.
Well, you didn't jam the bearing.
Tight over here and loose over here.
Yeah, it sure does. That's why you don't. We're going to wiggle this around a little bit. It feels like she had center. I think she's got it. I think she's got it, you guys. I think she's got it. The bearing's not getting bound. How's it look? Even?
No.
Selena says
I
it's
have to
not
go
even.
more?
No, it's got too much pressure already. I don't want to break anything. We're trying to go easy on this thing, guys. I don't know. Selena says it's no good. I'm going to bring you guys back after we fight with this because. All right, guys, here we go. I think she's got it. See how that's sticking up? That was flush when we first pressed it. But I want to double check it because maybe the inside edge of this socket is bottoming out. I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing. Maybe the inside edge of this socket is bottoming out. So I want to make sure that there's no gap between that inner part of the bearing, that inner race of the bearing, and the cast iron piece of this locker. That has to be pressed all the way down flat. So we're going to double check it. And then we should be good to go. But that's where we're at. We're going to double check everything. All right, guys. We got this pressed on. It does bottom out. That socket bottoms out a little bit. So we kind of had to like cock it slightly and redo the press just to get that last little bit to make it nice and even. But we got it. So there it is. No binding. It's nice and even all the way around. It's touching all the way down on the bottom. We're going to press the other side on, and then we'll bring you guys back once we got to pull the old pinion apart to see what shim is in it. All right, guys, we got our bearings all pressed. Everything is nice and flat, square. Selena's going to start those bolts. Then we're just going to zip them down with the gun. We'll figure out what the torque is later, and then we'll go from there. So she's going to put them bolts in. She's going to put them bolts in.
No, I'm not.
She's going to put them bolts in. She's struggling with them bolts. I don't know what the deal is. She can try another hole. Maybe that's the whole problem. Is it a hole problem? It must be a hole problem.
Yeah.
Try a different bolt.
A different bolt and a different hole.
And it's still not going in? That's weird. How many guys are yelling at the camera right now? Something tells me somebody's yelling at the camera. If it's not a left-hand thread, it's a right-hand thread.
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to.
I mean to her. Look what I just did to her. So what is it? It's not lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, is it?
No.
No.
I was thinking that
It's ass backwards.
I was thinking it was one of those backwards.
You were thinking?
Yeah.
I'd say that too. What do you guys think? You think she's telling the truth? She's probably telling the truth. So we're going to zip them in there now that she's figured it out. She'll put the gun on there to tighten the wrong way though. She'll loosen them up for us.
Yeah. Lefty loosey, ready.
That's right, that's right. Then we're going to zip that in, and then I don't know how much further we're going to go. I got to separate the original ring and pinion to see what shim is in there. And then we're going to go from there. So she's going to zip them with the... Oh, she's not going to use the gun. She's going to loosen them off, though. See that? Force of habit right there, boys. Force of habit.
I checked it
And we
too.
said it. I know you did. We watched you.
I'll get the gun.
Yeah, break the jar. We have enough shit on our workbench for a while.
We don't need that jar.
Those do have Loctite on them already, so I don't know. But I don't know what the torque... We didn't read the instructions, guys. We just
don't need
didn't.
instructions.
That's right. Didn't have pictures. We ain't doing it.
That's right.
I don't remember what those things torque at. They torque pretty good. So we can go with the little gun and it'll be good enough for tonight. And then I might go get the pinion. And on the back of the new pinion there's a number. I'll show you guys. It's where you want it to be in the center of the thing. I'm not a setup guy or an expert on this, so I'm not going to really show any of that because I'm just a guy muscling through this. And I have a buddy that I can call that does this stuff. And I wish he was here because I'd have him do it. Unfortunately, he's in Massachusetts. But if I need to phone a friend, I will call him. If I can put it together and it don't howl too bad, I don't really care. I did do a solid shim instead of the crush sleeve thing. I'm probably going to have to call him on that, so we'll see what's up. We're ready for torque. All right, guys. We're going to zip that real quick with the gun, and then we're going to get that pinion over here, and we're going to press that apart and see what our shim is. So I'll bring you back for the pressing apart.
It's no light.
All right, guys. We're going to press this out. We're going to see what kind of shim we got. And this is crooked. Don't do this. But it's coming off pretty easy, and it hasn't blasted out of there yet, so we're just going to go with it. And it's coming off. So there it is. It's off. There we go. Now there's going to be a shim under there. I don't know why we need to know that shim, but I'm pretty sure we need to know what that shim is. I got to do a little bit more research tonight. But there's our bearing. We took that off. That's going to stay there. We're going to take this thing off. I'm going to take that off and put that up there. Now on here there's a shim. This is our shim right here. Then we'll measure on the other one. It says there's a number on the back of the other one. I don't think there's a number on the factory ones. I don't see a number on the factory ones. But anyway, there's a number on the other one, the new one. And that's to center it in the thing. That's a technical term, in the thing. Anyway, you want this so far back between the two bearings so it's centered in the pinion. The ring and pinion, I think, is centered or whatever. It gives you the back spacing of it, or I don't know what you want to call that. I don't know what it's called, so I don't know what to tell you. But this is our shim. So we're going to figure it out. And then we'll look at the other one, and I'll show you the other. I'll get that ring gear and I'll show you. I'm going to pause you. Slim's going to pause you. Okay, guys, here's our pinion. On here, there is, it says, whatever it says. I can't see a thing. It says 410, and then it's 4110 or whatever it is.
You're not getting it.
For the thing. I'm not getting it anyway. So it says what it is. GM 10 bolt, 410 ratio, and then there's the 1041. And then there's a scribe, and this is the number we want. It's 392. So we're going to figure that out, and then I'll figure it out tomorrow. So I think I'm done. See ya. Alright guys, tis the next day. Here we go. We're going to knock that front race out. See if I can show you guys the little thingamajigs they have in there. They have like a little tang you can get on. So in that front race, I use an old 1/2-inch drive extension. Right there, there's a little nub. See that little, there's like a little thing, you can go right there and bash them out. So that's what we're going to do. And then we'll bash the other one out, this one here comes out the opposite way, obviously. So we're gonna knock that out. Let me see if I can kind of put you guys, maybe. You guys always need to be where I am. That's the problem. So we got a hammer. We did our thing. And we're just gonna work it out side to side. And we'll work it out. Go from side to side until we hear that thing pulling across the floor, and there it goes. All right, guys, we're gonna do the other one. Then we'll drive some new ones in. I'm gonna pause you guys, but that just gets driven out the same way, just from the opposite side. Okay, guys, it's a new day, and we've been fighting this thing and fighting this thing. So we've had the pinion in and out, I don't know, a million times. So we finally got this set. We got our backlash. There's our backlash. It's around 11. It's supposed to be, they say 8 to 10. I don't know. It's 11. I ain't going to mess with it no more. We're done with this. So we got everything set up. We put the pinion in and out a whole bunch. We got a pretty good pattern. You guys can't see it because it's in the wrong place. But it's a little tight on the pattern. A little tighter than I'd like to see, but we can't find the right place. Now the dry shaft's in, so I can't turn it to show you guys. So that's wonderful. But anyway, we got our little bit of backlash we got. We're going to jam our brakes back on. We're going to fill it full of fluid. We're going to run it. And hopefully there's no howl or nothing. I don't think. So we're like 1/1000ths more. It says, I thought this was between like 8 and 15. We landed at around 11. Everything I see now says 8 to 10. We're at 11/1000ths. I don't know if 1/1000ths is going to, it probably ain't going to make a shit of difference. And our pattern was a little bit, it was a good football, and it was nice and centered, but it was in a little bit. I'm not pulling that pinion back out again. We pulled it in and out a whole bunch of times, because it's the first time I've done one of them solid shims, and you have to shim that too. If I went with the crush thing, I would have just put another crush and maybe tried it, but the thing's such a pain in the ass, I'm not going to do it. And they say it's easy, and it probably is once you get used to them, but I don't do rear ends. I mean, I can do them, and I've just did this one, but like, my friend Tim up north, this would have been a lot easier for him than me. So that's where we're at. We're good to go. I hope we're good to go. We're going to break it in. We're going to put our disc brakes back on. Our disc brakes are going to go back on. And I'll bring you guys back when we go for a test ride. Well, I'll show you the disc brakes maybe. All right, we'll see. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to throw the brakes back together. Here's our rotor. It's going on. There's our rotor. We have an inside pad right here. That goes in there. I don't know why that, is it not right? I don't know. Maybe that's not right. Does it go in the pad? Maybe it goes in the caliper. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here goes another pad. We just lost one. I think it goes in the caliper. That's why it's so loose. All right, so that's going to go in the caliper. I got to get the pad we just lost. Let me go get that. This thing is getting to be a real pain in the butt. All right. Okay. All right, we have an inside pad and we have an outside pad. I don't know what you guys can and can't see. There's our inside and outside pad. This looks like it's a little 4-piston. No, it's a 2-piston caliper. Willwood. Yeah. Fancy, schmancy. There's our outside pad. That goes in there. These little holes have to line up, and they're kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Right? Yeah, like that. And like that. And then, okay. And then the whole mess slides on there. And find our rotor. Yes, maybe. I don't know. There it is. This thing has to go like pretty straight. Like, these things are not friendly. They're not friendly. I don't know. I don't know why everything wants to fight on this truck. There goes that pad, falling out. You guys are right in my way. I might have to kick you guys out of here because I'm having troubles. I'm on the struggle bus right now. And it shouldn't be. But I am. But I am. Why are we on the struggle bus? Why is everything a pain in the ass with this truck? I don't know. Man, maybe that pad's supposed to be in there. The pad's supposed to sit in here. Doesn't look like it. It looks way too loose. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go in there. It goes against there. I don't understand why this wants to fight us. Oh, I see. Boy, they don't give you any room with this thing. I don't know. I don't know. There we go. See, now, so it's a Jenga mess is what it is. Rotor sliding off, yeah. Okay. And then what? I don't know. There we go. Look at that. Look. Huh. When you finally get it right, you get it right. But then you get these pins. They will go right in. Let's hope they go right in. Probably not. Probably going to fight us too. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Alright, so we got one on the top. Get our pad lined up. There's our pin. I got to go find the other pin. I'm going to pause you guys for a second. I'm going to go find another pin. Alright guys, here we go. Here's our pin. Oh, look at that. And our pin went right in. Alright, we're going to start these. We're going to tighten these. And then we're going to put the wheel back on. So that's your Woolwood brake assembly right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Pretty easy. When it's not fighting you. And the pads ain't falling out. Oh no, not bad. Pretty easy stuff. So, and then we're going to put some gear oil in this thing. Selena's cleaning the diff cover over there. And then we're going to fix some other stuff on while we're under here. Probably not today. But I don't like anybody that does, like, when you do your lines, these should be captured and tied into a bracket, not just floating loose like that. So we'll put a wing on there when I get a chance, and we'll weld it to the axle, because that stuff shouldn't be floating all over the place. So we'll fix that up too. And yeah, we're going to be in good shape. That's what we're going to do. We're going to tighten these, and we're going to put the wheel back on. All right, well, I want to bring you guys back because there's nothing else really to see. I want to do this the same thing to the other side. You've seen us take the wheels off, and we're going to put them back on the same way. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, guys, that's it. And I will bring you back for the test ride. And they said this had a GPS speedometer, so hopefully we don't have to mess with anything with that. I'm hoping. Our Woolwood brakes are back on. We're going to put a diff cover on. Diff cover is going to go right there. We're going to fill it with fluid, and we're going to take it for a rip after we break it in. Oh, we're going to break it in. So I'm going to go a couple rides. I don't know what quick performance says to break in the gear, so we'll read the break-in. We're going to do the break-in procedure, and then we'll see how the truck is after that. This should be a huge difference. All right, guys, see ya. Hey, guys, we're out in the square, and taking it for a test drive here after we did a TV cable, we fixed it. The other one was bound up, so the gas pedal worked really hard and it wasn't shifting correctly. And we also swapped out the carburetor because whoever set that other carburetor up, I don't know what they were thinking, but we did some improvements. So there's second. There's third. And then it'll now watch, it'll actually use overdrive. There it goes at 42 mile an hour. It's got a 411 gear in it now. It goes into overdrive at between 40 and 45, depending on how hard you're stepping on it. It uses the input of the throttle valve TV cable. So yeah, we've kind of been working on this thing and, you know, chasing some of the issues out of it, which is pretty good. You know, it's been responding pretty well. The converter's still way too loose, so if you're cruising at 55, it's like 19, and they never wired the tranny to lock up, which I don't like either. And I don't think they locked. I'm pretty sure they didn't wire it because they put a non-lockup converter in this transmission, which to me isn't the best idea, because, you know, if you're cruising, you want it locked up, especially if you're towing. I mean, you can't tow real heavy like that, but if you're towing, I mean, it should lock up. It's better. It gives you an extra 200 RPM less when it locks in, so you pick up an extra 200 RPM on the lockup, which is nice. And you know, it's just, I don't know what they were thinking on this whole truck. I don't understand. Like, normally you have a build and you have a way to do things. There's a way to do things right. There's a way to do things another way, and, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things. Some things may not be my way of doing things, but you know, like it had a 750 on it, carburetor, and it was dual pump manual secondaries, which I like manual secondaries. But normally, like when you're having like a stumble issue or whatever, hesitation, you put a 50cc pump, you know, the bigger pump thing, on the front bowl, because that's the first one. They put it on the secondaries, which it's not going to help anything being on the secondaries. So I don't even know what they were thinking. I don't even know if they knew what they were thinking, to be honest with you. But so we're just we're going through our thing and you know, straightening stuff out on this thing. We got some issues that were known. I have some unknown issues, you know, that I've been finding other things that are, you know, not the way I would have done it. But yeah, so far so good. So we did a 411 gear. We fixed the TV cable. We swapped the carburetor. Oh, they had no timing in it. It was so retarded, it was pathetic. That's why it never had any power. Because it was, the timing was so retarded. I don't know what they were doing. You can see, like, when you nail it, you can see that stall converter. It goes right up to it. Like, you're cruising, you nail it, you know, right to 32, 35. That's all in that stall converter. It's not pulling the motor down. It's going right to 34, 200, whatever it is. I don't know what the converter is. I think it's a cheap eBay converter. I wish it would lock up, but I'm pretty sure it's a non-lockup converter. No, that's about it, guys. Everything's running pretty good. I'll bring it back when we get back to the shop. Alright, see ya. We just got a red light, so we're going to do one more takeoff. I don't know why this is blurry. It doesn't want to zoom on that thing and be... Or maybe it's just the LED part of the light. I'm not sure. But we'll see, like, what we got. And this is a GPS speedometer, so it reads slow. Yeah, I don't know what that was reading, but because it took forever, we were already going 15 by the time it shifted. That thing was still reading 0. But yeah, so there we are. I mean, that's what we got. See ya. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this little ending here up. So there's our new carburetor. Well, not new, but it's a vacuum secondary 750. We got rid of the other one, the 750 dual pump that was all messed. I don't know what they were doing. It doesn't matter. So that's where we're at. Truck seems to be running good. Like, share, subscribe. See ya.